Hey, to all my faithful subscribers and people that are joining in, and for, people who I decide to share the video with. Mark Edwards here, real estate broker. As you guys already know, I told you guys I wanted to start dropping more content, with just more substance, more information for you guys. So, dropping this Zoom so I can share my screen with you guys so you guys can see a little bit of the information on some of the information that I'm getting when I'm looking up things and researching the market, just trying to figure out what's going on. You guys actually are in the same boat, trying to figure out what's going on. And so, yes, I want to be able to give you guys a little information on what is going on. Okay, you guys get a lot of information from the media. Sometimes that could be false. Sometimes you got to read between the lines. I want to just be able to give you guys information straight from the National Association of Realtors so you guys can get some of this in-depth information, okay? So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Bear with me, as I always say. Hopefully you guys can see the screen that I share. Like I said, I'm probably going to start doing some lives and things like that. But right now, yes, this one's pre-recorded. But let me know if you cannot see what I'm sharing. I'm in the comments. If I share this video and you guys do not see it, let me know. Please let me know. Obviously, all the information we get is usually delayed. Yes, I know it's October, but in the real estate world, we always have to wait a month or two behind for all the information and the data to be, stockpiled and analyzed. And so then we get it. So we always get it, a month or two later. This is actually the last update that they do have, which is from August. I'm sorry. And so, like I said, you can see it August 13th to 17th is when the guy put it out. It's Lawrence Young. He is the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. He puts out these things often, about once every 3, 4 months. So, like once a quarter, sometimes twice. And so, yes, it gives you valuable information. So that way we can share and we can kind of analyze the situation, what's going on in the market. Some of this stuff can be confusing, so I don't want to confuse anybody. But yes, when you're dealing with real estate and interest rates and things like that, it always goes to the bonds and the treasury and things like that. So that's why they're giving you a little bit of information here on the treasury and the Federal Reserve. So it's just letting you know where the borrowing rate is versus the resistance line, where we were 2012, 13, 14, it gives you this data and then it shows where we are right now in 2023. So it's telling us that we are almost where we want to be when it comes to borrowing. As far as the treasuries goes, when you look at these rates, don't be confused. I don't want to go too far in depth in it because it will confuse you. Sometimes it confuses myself. I'm still learning a little bit more about these treasury bonds. As I say, we're learning, we're growing together, and I'm always going to be honest and upfront with you. So take this information, go ahead and analyze if you are aware of what's going on and if you may have any information about the Treasury, things like that. But it's telling you right now, 2023, August, it was at around 4%. Okay, 4.0. High borrowing costs from feds. So it's telling you how they're borrowing, right? Or how you're borrowing. I'm sorry, that the cost for you to borrow is going up. It's telling you, bam, 2020, right? We're going through what? COVID. It just shows you the drops with the rates and then the increase in the rates. So now we're right back up here about 6%, 10-year Treasury and Fed funds rate, right? So it shows here 2019, we're about 2, then it dropped. And then, of course, now we're back up to 6%. Okay. This says downgraded USA debt. Going to give you the tax receipts. The federal outlay is the blue. Tax receipts is going to be the orange. And it just shows you the increase. Okay. Things are going to be more expensive, folks. Things are getting more expensive. Things are going up. So that's why you're seeing that increase. Shows here the damage from high interest rates. And this is what the effects of these high interest rates do. Commercial real estate transactions are down. Commercial real estate property prices have went down a little bit. The cap rates have decreased. So that means the same property that you may own, it's a commercial building, say it was worth 2 million. Now, that was okay, say 6 months or a year ago. Now it's probably worth 1.5 or worth 1.75. So commercial is being hit. Commercial is being hit. So I just want to let you guys know. Community banks, they're in a mess right now for interest rates. Some of these banks, they're not making money. They sent out these loans and some of them didn't come back. Some people defaulted, during the recession that we're in right now, and also during COVID. So that's why some of these community banks are hurting right now. And also just from them loaning out commercial loans as well. With the economic slowdown, the economy slowing down, you're going to see these effects. Okay, the interest rates, expenditure, federal debt is rising. We're like 31 trillion right now is the debt. 31 trillion is how much our country owes in debt. What's going to happen when they decide, these other countries decide that they want their money back, and realizing that the United States keep printing money, and that's what we do. We keep printing and printing and printing. And what happened during COVID, they wanted to bail us out and save us, and they, put all this money and stimulus back into the economy. They didn't want to do that. Some people say they shouldn't have done that, but they did, right? Because the economy had to keep going. They were trying to keep it going. They were scared of everything just collapsing. So they said, what we're going to do? We're going to keep printing money. Keep printing money. And that's what they did. Oh, you get a stimulus, you get a check, you get a check, you get a check. And giving out all this money, now the debt's going up. Now what's going on right now, too, in the country? If anybody's been paying attention, we almost had the government shutdown, right? That's still hanging over our heads, right? In order to do that, what they have to do, print more money to try to keep this thing going. So you guys got to start paying attention. There's a lot of people hurting right now. There's a lot of people that are going to be hurting here within the next 6 months as this gets serious, and things are changing a little bit as everything's starting to be a little bit more expensive. And when everything's a little bit more expensive, what's going on? People want more pay. That's why you see a lot of people striking right now. We just need more pay, right? Because with the increase of the prices and inflation, hey, we're going to need to see some increase in pay, right, for people to be able to keep up. Okay. This one says here the weaker home sales versus existing home sales pre-COVID. It's been down 23% over year. 23% it's down with home sales. Home sales are down 23%. This is why everybody's telling you, hey, buy, sell, hey, sell, buy, because agents, brokers, they need the business. They need to be able to feed their families because, hey, the economy is down. When, we're trying to help you guys during this process of buying and selling real estate, sometimes we get affected straight due to the economy. It doesn't have anything to do with us marketing. Doesn't anything have to do with our service that we provide. Business is going to take a decline just due to the economy. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of realtors and agents that are getting out of the market right now. A lot of people in title that are getting out. A lot of lenders that are getting out because it's very hard right now. Newly constructed home sales are back slowly. They're starting to build more homes. This is a problem in our country. This is the reason why we have an inventory shortage. Our country does not build enough homes. We just do not. And then now, if you see what's going on, we're building more apartments and more townhomes and more apartment condo type living than we are single family, it seems like to me, in my opinion. Every area is different, but I know in our market, if you look around, you do see some single family homes being built, but there's more apartment buildings being built than there is single family homes because they're trying to correct or curb this affordable housing issue that we do have. Problem with that is, with the cost up, the cost of labor, cost of materials going up, they're still going to have to shell that cost off to the renter. Therefore, rents will continue to be increased. In my opinion, that's just the way it works with supply and demand. Okay. See here in COVID where we were at, right around 700,000, right? We kind of peaked, went up here a little bit, went up to about 1 million, dropped, up, down, drop, just the cycle, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now we're right around where we were pre-COVID, right around 700,000 homes being constructed today. Okay. Inventory is giving you a synopsis here. Inventory of existing homes, it's low. New homes, it's kind of increased, kind of high. But of existing homes that are out there on the market right now, inventory is low. We're looking at 33 days to sell your home. We're looking at about a month and a half's worth of supply right now, which means in a month and a half, if all these properties sell, 45 days, and nobody else decides to sell their home, every home in the market will be gone in a month and a half. Break that down for you. In a month and a half, if nobody's coming into the market saying, hey, I want to sell my home, and say everybody just stay put for a month and a half, and these homes end up being sold, there would be no more listings on the market, right? It's bad. Commercial real estate transactions down 50% across the country. 50%. And these are all the properties that are valued at 2.5 million, which is a lot because commercial is expensive. So that's majority of them. I would probably say that's 60 to 75%. Woo! Commercial real estate. If you guys are investing in that, you better be careful. Better be careful because the prices are down 15%. So it's a good time to get in to buy. Nope. Right? Depends on what side of the coin or what side of the table you're on. It's a good time to buy and get in and buy some commercial real estate. Just be careful what you buy and the location that you do buy it in, and make sure you have a good solid plan for what you want to do with that commercial space, because it will sit and it will cost you money in the long run if you don't have a plan. Okay, so make sure you get a plan. All right. National defense versus interest payments. It's just going over here once again with that number of 700,000. Okay. Why are the feds raising interest rates? Well, once again, like I said, they're trying to stabilize the economy, trying to keep it from imploding on itself, trying to make sure there's not another 2008, which I don't think there will be, but all the writings on the wall are saying that it is. But there's a couple things that are keeping us safe, and the reason why there's not a 2008 market collapse, which everybody think is happening, and you got all these gurus and people that sometimes aren't even in real estate, but they say, oh, 2008, it's just like that. It's right back. We're about to collapse. Oh my God, let me pull out my hair. Slow down, folks. Yes, the writings are on the wall. Yes, there's inflation. Yes, there's some job issues going on with employment. But in 2008, there was a surplus of homes. Surplus. There wasn't no inventory issue in 2008. There was so many homes out there that it was ridiculous. Now there's an inventory issue, so that's different, right? Keep that in mind, okay? Also in 2008, it was a different time. You didn't have what we have in the market right now, where over 60% of people right now have their homes either paid off in full, or they have 50% equity. 50%, that means their homes are halfway paid off. They got 50% equity. So you're not going to have a bunch of foreclosures or people that can't afford their mortgages, because if that's the case, they got all this equity. They'll just sell and cash out and then go buy something else. Something smaller, something cheaper. They're not going to be foreclosing and saying, hey, I can't afford my mortgage. Right? They're like, okay, if they can't afford it, well, we just going to sell, baby. Let's just pack it up and let's just cash our chips in. We're going to sell and we're going to buy something else, or we're going to rent. Okay? Number 3 reasons why I don't think there will be a market crash is also because back then there was a bunch of predatory lending going on, a bunch of subprime mortgages. You could walk into the bank and say, hey, this is how much I make. This is how much I got in the bank. Bam. They didn't even verify. You walked out of there with a loan and you got you a house. They didn't care if you could afford it, because they were eating and they were living good. Like, yep, I got another deal. Yep, another transaction. Yep, bam, another sucker. So you had subprime lending, these mortgages, knowing people couldn't afford it. It's different now. Now they run you through the ringer when you try to get a home. Anybody try to buy one recently? Right? They verify everything. So those are 3 reasons why I say I don't think it's going to be a crash. But yes, the market is kind of unstable. Don't let me sit here and tell you that it's not. That's what the government is trying to do, and they're trying to correct this, right? So inflation was so high that yes, they were trying to correct it. So they raised the rates. So now it's calming down a little bit. You see where it was here a little while ago, and inflation was at 8% just last year. 8%. That's ridiculous. So now it's coming back down to where we like to see it, where it normally is around 2% is where they like it to be. And so we're hovering around 3% right now. So we're slowly getting back to our norm, but prices are still up on everything. More jobs, less inflation, right? More jobs, less inflation. That's what they say. But here is what the Democrats and what the Republicans say. Look at the numbers yourself. I'm not going to be political. I'm not going to get into it. You guys know what happens in the political year when we got things going on, and sometimes it doesn't always meet the agenda of the country because it's deal with these politicians and their own personal agenda. And yep, we get the aftermath of it. Okay, we get the aftermath and we get the effects. Here's the effects right here. Y'all look at it for yourself. I'll just let this sit. Car insurance, 17%, you might as well say. Rent and food, these are necessities. That's why it's highlighted. You gotta have food, right? And you gotta have a roof over your head. 8.3% for rent. That's across the board, across the country. That's how much rent has increased. Some parts of the country has been even more of an increase. Where I'm at in the Midwest, hey, it's even gone up a little bit more. Okay. Kansas City is 8th on the list in the country in rent increases. I think last year's ours was like 15%, or don't get me wrong, but it's like 15, 16% between 21 and 23, or between, just this last year, it's went up 16%. That's right here in Kansas City. Better wake up, folks. Better wake up. Some places across the country, it's cheaper for you to rent to buy a home. It is. And everybody's situation is different. But in Kansas City, I don't know if that's necessarily the case. But it is by case basis where you want to live, what school districts you want to be in, what you are accepting, far as shelter and what's comfortable for you, right? Electricity up 5.5%. You want to go to an Airbnb or a hotel and travel, up 5%. You're going to pay for it. New car, 4.1%. Clothes, only thing that's dropped was medical service, which was minus 1%. Airfare, minus 13%. And gas, minus 27%, which recently has went up. So that number has changed since August. Okay. Annual apartment construction at a 40-year high, right? Ain't that what I said? I told you they're building more apartments than they are houses. They want to turn you into a renter. They don't want you to have a house. They want to turn you into a renter. So what are we going to do? Instead of building a house, we'll just build more apartments. But not only that, that's because a lot of times that's what people can afford as well. But don't get it twisted. These are brand new apartments, brand new properties. So you're going to pay for it. Okay? So you can say, yeah, I got a brand new apartment. Yeah, it's cool. These are nice. You go apply. It's going to cost you. Probably the same cost that you can get a single family home and rent. You can rent one, and it will be a home, and you won't have to deal with neighbors above you and below you and all the other extra noise. But that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make you a renter, make everybody consumers. Pay attention. Look at the numbers. They building. They are building. And it's going up. It's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing at the same time. Good thing you'll have a place to call home, but you're gonna be paying for it, and they try to make sure you stay in these apartments forever. Apartment rent growth in the private sector, they say, is going down. Yes and no. Obviously, the numbers say yes right here, but there's no way the rent is gonna go down on a brand new apartment. They gotta pass that cost off to you. They gotta pass it off to someone. They still have to pay for the cost of materials to build it or to rehab it. They got to pay for the loan, which obviously, since interest rates are up, they got to pay for it. So they're passing that cost off to you. So take this with a grain of salt. Okay. This says rents rising or softening. Official government data versus the private sector data. Y'all know the private sector, we don't report anything. We mind our business, we go on about it, and we say, hey, we don't care. We get off our business. You don't need to know how much I'm making my rent. You don't need to know how much I'm increasing. So take this with a grain of salt. A lot of people and private landlords, they're not reporting this data. Okay? But the government says rents are rising up to 8% right now. Okay? Here's the supply and demand graph. It's a little confusing. I don't even want to go over it because it will confuse you guys if I did. All right. This one, home prices not part of the consumer price index. So just letting you know that when you look at these figures here that I'm about to share, that the home prices are not part of the consumer price index. Okay. National median home price right now, you see it. You see where it was in 2000? We were right down here. National median home price. You could get one for $150,000. Boy, that's changed. It's doubled. Now it's about 100 or 350,000. Some area it's up to 4. Here in the Midwest, Kansas City, the average sale price $345,000. $345,000. Don't let that scare you guys. For the people that are thinking about buying homes, you still can get you a lovely home for your family in the price range of about 200 to 225, depending on what you can accept and what you want to call home on your standards. But if you want top notch, top of the line, nice schools, nice area, house remodeled, super clean and fresh and brand, you're gonna be paying $350. Or if you got a big family, you need the 4 bedrooms, you're gonna be paying $350. If that's what you want, if you want to be in those super nice areas, because prices are going up. Y'all got to pay attention, and you got to get in now or as soon as you can, because the longer you wait to buy a home, it's going to be out of reach and it's going to be unattainable for you. It really is. It really is. So for those that are waiting and people that I've spoken to talking about buying a home, and they're like, hey, this is so expensive. Okay, that's fine. I get it. It is a little expensive right now. It is. Imagine what it's going to be 5 years from now. That's a decision you have to make for yourself and for your family. Right? Here's the home price changes. It shows you right here. Kansas, 2.2. Missouri, 6, or hold on. Yep, 6.4%. 6.4%. Right? And that's just from the first quarter of the year. It's done went up 6. That's just from the first quarter. Trying to tell you guys, prices are going up. Here's the numbers so y'all can see it and believe it for yourself. Home price change from onset of COVID. Since COVID, 33.6% in Kansas. 33%. Missouri, 37. You might as well say 38% in Missouri area since COVID. Prices have went up 38%. It's 2 years. 2 years. 3, right? Going on 3 years. That's how much it's changed. Look at the numbers. It's 12%, 15% for the last 3 years. That's how much it's been increasing. So you do the math and see how much it's going to be in the next 5. Just add 10%. Just add a base 10%. 5 years, right? That's 50%. 50%. If it stays at the rate that it's going on right now. Hawaii, for all my people in Hawaii and all my investors in Hawaii that I work with, your guys' prices, yep, they're definitely high, and I see why you guys do come to the Midwest to invest. I totally understand it. But if you want to invest and come on in and let's play ball, folks. There's nothing wrong with a little low ball offer, but when you're 60 grand below that offer, you don't have a shot. So you got to play ball and up the ante a little bit. They're getting 97 to 98% of the listing price. Some people maybe might as well say 99% of the listing price they're getting. So play ball. It's time to quit playing games if you want to invest. Home ownership rate, you see it in Hawaii and the US. You see it 66%. Over here, you got about almost 60%. Home value fell 3 trillion and mortgage debt rose 1 trillion. The value fell 3 trillion, but the debt rose by 1 trillion. These numbers don't lie, folks. This is the economy we're in. This is the market we're in. Shockingly high monthly mortgage payments to buy a typical home at the prevailing mortgage rate. They say shockingly high. But they do that to spook you guys a little bit, but they also do it to let you know shockingly. Be aware. Look at this. Up. Up. You see, up. Nothing but increase. Nothing. So right now it's telling you the average mortgage is almost $2,200. $2,200 is almost the average mortgage across the country right now. You see where it was in 21? It wasn't even 1,500. You're looking at like 1,300. Now we're at 2,300. It's jumped $1,000 in 2 years. And you just wonder why these investors want to buy more rental properties so they can pass it off to you. I'm about to start buying. I'm buying myself. Me and my team, we're buying. Right? Because we want to invest. We want to get to the bag. I don't want to be on the other side where I'm the consumer and I'm sitting here and everybody else is eating. Do you want that to be you? No. Let's start being producers. Let's start owning stuff. You got to start with owning your own home first. Okay? Look at this. These are cash sales. These are people in the market that are buying cash. Cash. There's money floating around, folks. See the numbers? Right now, almost 30% is buying cash. Almost 30% of that, it's cash. They buying. Distressed property sales are rising from 1 to 2%. It's not that much of a big difference. People are still buying distressed properties. Then they want to touch on the job market a little bit for you guys. They're saying, hey, take a look at the job market because, yes, that can factor into the economy. It lets you know what's going on. 4 million more from pre-COVID, right? So we got 4 million jobs, since COVID. So that's a good thing, but we need to do it a little bit better. Get a little bit more jobs for these folks out there, for people that are willing to work. Job openings, all right? These are job openings and those searching for jobs. Okay? Job gains since pre-COVID, a record high payroll employment. That is good. Right? 2% over here in Missouri. Hollywood before the strike, motion pictures. We don't even want to talk about it yet. We know they're good, even though they didn't have a strike. Even the rich folks are complaining and saying they want more, right? But I get why they're complaining. They don't want AI to take over their jobs. Yep, be careful. AI is coming. So I see part of the reason why they were striking. But yeah, but they're eating good. And they're still saying we need more because prices have went up for everyone. So we can't look at them and say, man, you're rich. You got a bunch of money. Yeah, it's true. But they still have to live. They still have bills and costs have went up. Okay. Mortgage rates to fall. Do you think they're going to fall? 30-year fixed rate to be near 6% by early spring. 6%. Right? That's where we're at. We're right around 6%. Rents will calm down further, which holds down the consumer price index, and it makes the Fed stop raising the interest rates. So when these rents calm down just a little bit or stabilize, they're telling you that it's going to make the Fed stop raising the interest rate, and then it's going to be a halt. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Leave some comments. Okay. I want to get some comments from you guys that are watching this video. Is some of this stuff shocking to you? Is this stuff that you already knew and you were aware of? Are you prepared for this? Are you prepared for some of this stuff that's going on right now? Total home sales, new and existing, bottoming this year before the upturn next year. So they're going to bottom out and they're going to go back up, right? It's a cycle, like I always say in real estate, it's a cycle. Okay. Extra demand for international home buyers, foreigners, and very recent immigrants. They're buying stuff. They're coming over here and they're buying it because it's cheaper than where they at. And they're saying if push comes to shove, and we'll just take that property and we'll move. But at the end of the day, they're buying investment property. Don't get it twisted. Okay? Don't get it twisted. You see where it was here, 153 in 2017? Woo! But you see where it was here in 21, 54, 59. Now it's back to $53 billion that's coming from in the market. You know, and it shows here non-residents 29.9. Right? So it's almost $30 billion it's coming straight from investors from foreign countries. Top countries is just letting you know right here who is the top countries. You can look at that if you want. No bearing really to you guys here and what you guys are doing for selling your home or buying your home. And AR memberships even declining a little bit. There's a lawsuit that's going on right now with Remax and across the country. Actually, it's taking place. The court is actually taking place here in Kansas City. For those that don't know, there's a big lawsuit going on, and it's people from here in Kansas City that are suing. They're trying to shake things up in the market, and so there's a lot of brokerages that are saying, "Hey, we don't even want to be affiliated with NAR right now." So people are dropping out. Take it a little grain of salt. There's also realtors just dropping out in general. They can't hack it. Here's the membership change from a year ago. You see how it's dropping a little bit? It's changed. So I'm just telling you, the economy's hurting right now. I just want you guys to know what these numbers mean, and honestly, I just kind of wanted you guys to see the numbers. At the end of the day, what it is economy's hurting, and you guys are seeing the brunt of it. I want to thank you guys for chiming in with me today. Like, share, and subscribe if you're interested in some of this content. If you think it was valuable today, please go ahead and share and say, hey, my guy, Mark the KC Realtor dropped some valuable information on me. I want you to look at it and see what you think. But take a look at the charts, take a look at the numbers. Because if you're trying to sell your home or if you're trying to buy, it affects you, right? So pay attention. But get all your ducks in a row because you still can buy. You just have to pivot with the market, make adjustments, make some more sacrifices, maybe save a little bit more, and you can get in. I tell everybody to get in now before it's too late because it's going to be more expensive and then home ownership is going to be unobtainable for you. Okay? For those that do own their home, start investing. Start thinking about investing because the prices of everything is going up and it's about to be more expensive to live. You can't even go and buy fast food for less than almost $20 just for yourself. Remember, it used to be $5.99. It's $15 and up right now, right? Everything is going up. Producers are still producing. They're still winning. And the people that are consuming is about to get worse. And I don't want that to be you. So I'm trying to help you guys level up. And if you're trying to level up, chime in. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll talk to y'all on the other side. If you need any assistance, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always here for you guys. And as I always say, stay safe, stay blessed. Peace.